Hi, so we have Sherman on the line over here. So, Sherman, how's it going?
What's up? What's up? You only remember me when there are bike launches.
Yeah, actually, by the way, you heard of the new formidable launch by Honda?
I was expecting a scooter or something, Forza or something, but yeah,
No, I was actually, I don't know why everyone was expecting the Forza or the Honda CRF 300 because someone had actually, the 300 CRF images were circulated over the net, man. Someone actually had that in the Honda showroom. So I was really hoping that the CRF 300 would come. But again, for the people who are disappointed regarding the CRF 300, need not worry. We have our very own Hero Xpulse 300 that's coming up. So I'm assuming that should compensate for, your disappointment in Honda.
I,
And
I,
with
I earlier it used to be like foreign brands giving India something and Indian brands not doing it. Now it's the other way around. Like brands like
exactly,
and the import brands are like, I will stick to shit.
exactly. No, the problem is they're sticking to third world developed products. I know this may seem a little too extreme, but literally, like Honda has a research and development team that can build one of the best bikes, and they actually have one of the best bike lineups abroad. But when it comes to India, they actually think what can we do that makes a bike boring, and that's what they include in the overall package.
Well, that is what the Indian masses buy. They want something economical. They want some. It's okay if it is boring. It's okay as long as it gives mileage. As long as oh, moti cc hai and stuff like that. Like oh, it's like for example, somebody be like, oh, this is 300 cc bike. Okay, nobody's going to be like, oh, it's not. It's a plus. They're like, oh, it can give mileage and whatever. And the price point at 2.2 lakh, which is very actually
2.26.
2.26. So say approximately 260 on road. If the tax and all that, insurance and tax, which is quite less. Like the Duke
Okay.
now, Duke 250 is the same price and
Okay,
same
you
BS.
compare it with the Duke, I'm comparing it with the Dominar 400, which actually comes in the same price. But the Dominar 400 kind of reminds me of a conversation that one of our journalist friend actually said, and obviously we can't reveal his name. He mentioned that he would prefer the CB300, the Honda CB300 over the Dominar 400
Because of weight.
because of weight and because it's just a Honda. It's just whatever they do, they have this magic dust that they place over their bikes that make it just so smooth eventually, you know. See, but coming back to the launch,
बड़ा
I
hornet,
wanted
बड़ा hornet.
to Bada Hornet. Exactly, it's a Bada Hornet, nothing more than that. From my point of view, it may not make sense, but from quite a few of our friends' point of view that have high capacity bikes and they want a no nonsense, boring bike for everyday usage, yes, it kind of makes sense. The CB300F.
Power that is not going to get you bored or something, which is not overwhelming. At the same time, you can have your fun, like, do easy triple digit speeds.
Yeah, 24 horsepower is decent. 6 speed. Thank God they've given a 6 speed manual instead of a 5 speed. That's a blessing. It's got Honda's selectable traction control. I don't know why. The CB500X does not have traction control, but these small Hondas have.
You want to just fool around, like, I haven't had the CD, the Highness, and I'm used to the traction, on my bike. But so there's a mud patch in Powai and I tried to cut it because I felt the bike was so light and I was like, okay, it just made me push and then, and the mud slightly slipped out. But because of the traction control, I was like, oh, be careful. But then,
Yeah,
yeah, they're giving it not bad. It's quite nice actually.
yeah. I mean, it's got a smart LED display. It kind of reminds me of the CB500X display. It's definitely an inspiration from that. All LED lightings, and it's basically nothing. There's no wow factor. You wouldn't park the bike and look at it twice kind of bike. It will blend in the crowd. No one will do chutiagiri on it. They'll be like, ah, ye Hornet ye
And it
150 cc.
and it gets the work done.
It gets the work done. It's as you mentioned, it's got a decent ground clearance, 177 millimeter, which is good enough for Indian roads. It's like few
Most
millimeters, 3 millimeters less than your Tiger 800 ground clearance.
so adventure bikes normally have the 180 to 200 mm. So this is 177, which is quite good. Like when people say the TVS the what do you call it, the Apache 200 has a very good
Hmm.
ground clearance compared to all the other bikes in its range because it's 180 mm. So this is close to that.
Hmm. This
That's
bike
what
in the adventure format, it would have definitely killed the market. I'm just saying a 293cc liquid cool, not liquid cool, oil cool engine, which is actually a benefit while off-roading because you don't have a radiator to get damaged. Having a capable expert suspension, I just feel it would have made sense, but this discussion is for some other day.
this is one of those bikes I would like to own because I have a 800cc Tiger and I want another decently fun bike with which not going to chew on service and give me a little bit of more power without digging into the mileage and fuel cost.
Yeah,
It will be a nice
but
second bike for me.
if you want a second bike with 250cc engine, which will be around 70,000 rupees cheaper, you always have the Pulsar 250, right? If you actually
Yeah,
compare it with the Pulsar 250, I think the Pulsar 250 just makes more sense.
actually, but then again, Honda and Pulsar 250 is heavier if I'm not mistaken.
Pulsar 250 1.44 to 1.52 lakhs, so it's like 70,000 rupees cheaper, man.
I'm talking about the weight
Let me check the weight.
and the power is the same. Yeah, power is the same. No,
Power is the same, 162 kgs, man. Not much of a difference.
10 kgs more.
Whatever, 10 kgs more and 70,000 rupees cheaper. And again, it is not like those old Bajajes, man. It's not like the
Yeah,
Bajaj Chetak technology. The Bajaj is also a pretty respectable brand in terms of quality. So if you
yeah.
compare it apple to apple, I think the actual apple they should compare it is with the Pulsar 250F. You actually have this also, right? You have the Suzuki 250, which has slightly more power.
No brainer, like, just that this is, yes, Honda 300cc there hai. So 50cc more, but the power is the same.
But yeah, just 50cc more for the same power, man. So you have the 1.5 Pulsar, you have the 1.8, 1.85 GS 250, and then you have the Hornet 300, which is 2.26. Now I don't
Hmm.
know, suddenly it's not making that much sense,
Actually, yeah.
but
Don't
yeah, you're
find out.
actually paying more than 1,000 rupees per cc if you compare it uh, with the Pulsar. You're
Yeah.
literally paying more than 1,000 rupees per cc just for that 50cc extra. As you mentioned, it doesn't have that retro look. It doesn't have that neo cafe look. It just has a normal look. So what is going for it? Apart for it being a Honda. Let's see
Honda,
how many.
brand, कभी
Let's
कभी
see how
brand
many
दिखता है.
people buy it, man.
Because I'm quite surprised because Honda priced the highness so well,
Acha.
and it's a good bike and it's doing well because of that.
So Showman, I think we should conclude a conversation on this bike.
So I think it's a good bike, like I already said, and I've said it across this video. It's just not wow. It is there,
Hmm.
it will do the job. It's never going to give up on you. It's not going to have issues. It is not going to bite you in the bum. But it's good, and it's a bike that is going to be there. It's going to do its work right, give you mileage, give you decent power. Uh, I don't know about the handling and suspension and brakes because I've not ridden it. But yeah, I mean, out of all the Hondas I've ridden, I've never had an issue with it except for the new Activas, which I feel is far away from what Honda is
Hmm.
for a
Hmm. Hmm.
decent. So that's why TVS is picking up now. So that's all. But besides these, I think Honda has always been the quality has been wow. Even if it is not like too shiny, too jazzy, at least you don't give up on the middle of somewhere, and the service is not going to kill you. So,
Hmm.
but yes, it is pretty Blair. Like Blair is less boring than the bike.
It is like this chick that your mother arranges your marriage with. Like she won't break your heart. She's gonna be with you forever, but
Guy.
she's not gonna excite you in bed. As simple as that. She's not gonna be wild. She's not gonna be like crazy. She's gonna be like, whatever. I feel this is like the arranged marriage chick that your parents want to hook you up with.
It's
Yeah. So perfect. So Showman, thanks for coming on my video, and let's see how this
coming from
video turns out.